Okay. I think this is working. Hello, hello. If it is working, I don't know. um is it working? Yes. Okay. It looks like it's working, and I have my cat here, so she might come up and start meowing or something like she likes to do, or rubbing on the microphone. Hi, kitty. So please, be kind to my kitty. Um, but today I'm going to be streaming and live reacting to the new Witcher game trailer, which I guess previewed at the Game Awards here recently. I didn't watch the Game Awards, but I heard a little bit about the trailer, but I've not actually watched the trailer, so this will be like the first time for me. So let's get into it. I have played The Witcher 3 and I beat it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And even though I don't usually, like, when I have a choice, I don't usually play male characters. I usually try to play female characters if I can. But I enjoyed playing as Geralt. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I also played all the what's it called? The DLC, like the expansions. I played all those too, and I beat all those, and so I had a lot of fun with that. And so I was kind of looking forward to a new Witcher game. And like I said, I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't actually watched it. So I'm gonna kind of, this will be a live react how I feel about the new Witcher 4. So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, I keep in mind there's my kitty cat nearby. Hi, kitty. And so I might have a little bit of divided attention, but here it goes. Okay. Okay, so this is actually rendered in the engine. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. That kind of is a throwback, I guess, to the Witcher 3, because I remember in Witcher 3, don't you start out the game in a bathtub? So it's kind of interesting how they're having this new trailer also in the bathtub. I'm not sure if that means something besides just needing a bath. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting how they have her in the bathtub. Well, at least I think it's a woman in the bathtub instead of Geralt. So that's kind of interesting, I think, to kind of showing a through line, I guess, between like The Witcher 3 and Witcher 4. Or maybe they just like bathtubs. Like maybe there isn't something, going on there with the bathtub, but I think that's kind of interesting. And of course, obvious lady legs in the bathtub too. So interesting. Okay, continuing. Okay, we got some magic. Yes. Oh, is that not? Okay, so they're dark-haired. It looked like dark hair in the bathtub. Is that Yennefer in the bathtub? We're sharpening a sword. We've got a crown of flowers. Yes, today's the day. I see. Okay, who is that? Okay, so first reaction. So the bathtub, I was thinking the bathtub was going to be someone else, the person that was in the bathtub, because Geralt, like I said, started out in the bathtub, right, in the Witcher 3. So I was expecting the bathtub person to be someone else, but I don't know who that bathtub person is supposed to be. So they had dark haired. So I was like, well, maybe it's Yennefer, but at least the close up of the eyes did not look like Yennefer to me. At least from what I recall from the game back when I played that. So I don't know who this bathtub person is with the crown of flowers. I'm also curious what the crown of flowers is. We saw someone using magic, and I know that Ciri can use magic, right? Even though Geralt can use like some kind of magic, but not really magic, right? So we saw the person who wasn't in the bathtub using magic. They were sharpening a sword, right? And the voiceover was about the dearest daughter. So I thought, well, maybe they're talking about Ciri being the dearest daughter, right? But the person who was revealed with from the bathtub person, I'm gonna just keep on calling them the bathtub person because I don't know who they are. The bathtub person is not Ciri, I don't think. And so is the voiceover the man who's like doing the voiceover about his dearest daughter and all that? Are they talking about the bathtub person? Because yeah, I don't want to like Witcher 3's been out for a long time, so, and I think probably most people who are really excited about The Witcher 4 have probably played The Witcher 3, so I don't think I'm giving away any spoilers or anything, but because in The Witcher 3, like Ciri is the daughter of like the king or whatever. So I thought, well, maybe the voiceover is supposed to be like the king, right? But then the person who's revealed is, I don't think that's Ciri. So, because I had like dark hair. So I'm a little confused about who the bathtub person is, for one. Is that the bad guy? Is that supposed to be like the bad guy of the game? I don't know. Or bad girl, I guess. Bad girl of the game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who the person in the bathtub was. And I'm also the person who was sharpening the sword in one of like the backup shots, even though you didn't see their head. It looked like it might be a girl. When they were like sitting in the woods or whatever. So yeah, let's continue on. I have a lot of questions. Maybe they'll be answered, or maybe you have to play the game. Okay, so here's the bathtub girl with the crown. She's walking out. She seems scared and worried. Oh, I'm freezing. It sometimes happens to my YouTube, like it'll stutter even though it shows that it's like fully like buffered or whatever you call, like plenty of time, but sometimes my YouTube will stutter. But anyway, so she looked worried there walking out into the so she looks like she was getting ready in the bathtub, putting on the crown and everything inside, and now she's coming out to all the villagers. Is she getting married? Was the voiceover like her father gonna give her away at the wedding? A lot of questions, but continuing. Oh, come on, gay. Like, there we go. Come on. Okay, let me try to go back a bit and try to get that part again, since my YouTube wants to like... There we go. Okay. She looks worried. Oh my god. Come on. Let's try again. Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit further. Okay, I'm going to go back here and then start, and hopefully it'll like get over whatever is wrong with it by the time we get to the part we haven't seen yet. Okay, so she's walking out. Is this still like rendered in the engine? Because this looks pretty good if it is rendered like in the game. Oh my god. You see how I have plenty of buffering? You see? Like, this is all preloaded. It says. But this happens to me. It's really annoying. Okay, let's try again. And why is it always this part that it's like deciding to freeze on me? Yep, same part every time, or around the same time. Pirate like part. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to skip past whatever it's having an issue with there. It looks like she's just like walking past the people and walking up to this man. Is this going to be your husband? Is this who this is? Okay, kiss on the cheek. Is that her dad? So is that the person saying, "Dearest daughter"?
"'Twere my only choice. I shall be
Sh-
her of salvation.
Oh God, are they going to like sacrifice her or something?
What kind did he take? Nay, you can't.
Witcher, okay.
Chosen she is by the gods. No.
Okay. So we're gonna pause there. Talking to for one, that guy, right, with the nose guy. We'll call him Nose Guy. Nose Guy. He spots a Witcher. He calls them Witcher, and so it seems like they're gonna like sacrifice the girl that we saw, the bath girl, or something. So that's interesting, something like that, and. So Nose Guy is like spots cloaked figure, calls him Witcher. How do they know that it's a Witcher or not? I don't know, but they called the cloaked person a Witcher. And then goes up and grabs their shoulder, and the cloak comes off, and then we see lady, and she says no. So from what just like. I'm not a big lore head when it comes to Witcher games. I'm not read into the books. I enjoy the Witcher games a lot, like at least the third one. I only played the third one, but I enjoyed it a lot when I played it. But I do recall that like all the Witchers in the game were all dudes, and I remember there being like some kind of lore reason or whatever. And I'm assuming that's from the books. I haven't read the books, but I'm assuming that's from the books. So I'm thinking that this is part of the reason why it's kind of contentious, or there's some controversy with this, because for people who care a lot about lore in like these fantasy kind of universes, which isn't really me. Like I said, I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the story. I have no issue with lore. I respect people who enjoy lore and like the lore of games and movies and books and all that. No issue. I'm not that person, right? I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the story, but the lore is kind of like, okay. I'm not like, I'm not gonna die on the hill of the lore, right? Like, but I understand people who do. No issue with that. So, but this is the person that this nose man is calling a Witcher. Seems to be a girl, seems to be a woman. So, understand why lore heads might have an issue. Question I have is this person actually a Witcher, or is this just Nose Guy just seeing a hooded figure and just deciding to say they're a Witcher? I don't know. So we're gonna continue on. I have more questions. Hopefully my YouTube will not stutter out on me like it did before. Continuing. Oh gosh. Okay. So she's saying the gods didn't choose her for whatever's going to happen to her. He did. I don't know if that particular man did or like the villagers did. Which, let's be real. So they're sending off Bath Girl into the woods alone. Creepy, scary. Is she singing? Oh God. Ah! Okay. Nay. Okay, so she thinks she's gonna save the village. Another thing I will say is that I recall from the Witcher game when I played it. It's starting to stutter again. I'm being stupid. But something I recall from the Witcher game when I played it was that the Witchers had like a medallion, right? And so different Witchers would have a different medallion. So Geralt was his medallion was like a wolf or whatever. So he was like from the wolf group or whatever of witchers. So there were different witchers that were from different groups that were like other than the wolf. And so I can't really see a really good view of what the woman who was called a witcher is wearing. So I can't say if she has the medallion on, which would answer the question if she really like was a witcher or not, right? I would think, unless there's some story reason, right, why she wouldn't have a medallion. But I recall that in the game about there being a medallion. Again, I'm not married to the lore or having to have a medallion or any of these rules. Like, it's not a big deal to me. But if people are very upset about this, right, who do say that they are like lore people, right, who care a lot about the backstory and things, I'm not seeing a medallion on her, but it could be like her armor's like covering up the medallion too. That's possible. But so she's come into the woods, this creepy, scary woods, after this the Bath girl, who was sent out into the woods by the villagers for some reason. I don't know. And the Bath girl thinks she's gonna save everyone by being out in the woods. Okay. Continuing on. But I mean, this is kind of like, that gives me, kind of an icky, not great feeling. But I mean, there was a lot of parts in The Witcher 3 that gave me like icky, not great feelings. I think that's just part of the game, part of like the story of the Witchers. It's like how like this fantasy world that they inhabit seems to be pretty creepy and icky. So that's kind of on brand for what I recall from The Witcher 3 is, there's a lot of storylines in it that don't give you like a great, like happy feeling. So that seems kind of on brand. Continuing. Save yourself. Okay, we got scary. Okay, so there she did have a medallion on her that she was wearing. I didn't see a good look of what medallion it was. It didn't really look like I recall Geralt's medallion looking like in the third game, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because maybe they changed the design or something, right? But it didn't look like the medallion that Geralt would wear. Run away! Run away! Yes, run. Get away from scary, creepy, scary cave monster. Okay, she's going in. She got her sword. Ah! Okay. Slay the beast. Ooh. What's with this? Talking. Okay. How many sacrifices has the village sent into here? Because there's a lot of bones. Okay, so she's got a potion. I remember that being part of it. Of the game too. You could like get different potions and stuff. Okay. It's some kind of spider beak monster. Ah! Okay. I won't say anything else right now. Okay, so we're gonna pause it. I don't know exactly what the monster said. Did it say bait? Fate. Okay, that's I said bait. Okay. I said fate cannot be changed. Interesting. What I was just gonna say as like just an aside, I find it kind of funny how there's so many like arachnophobia, like people being like terribly afraid of monsters, or not monsters, of spiders is like a well-known fear that people have. And I think there's quite a few people who do have a fear of arachnophobia, of like spiders and stuff. So I think it's kind of funny in a way, like in, you know, kind of a, maybe not like a funny ha-ha, but more of like a funny kind of just sad, or just finding a situation kind of ridiculous. But I find it funny how there's so many like video games and TV shows and movies who just love to have a spider, like a creepy, scary spider in them. And so it's just like, I just find it, you know, in some kind of way, like just kind of funny that all of these, like, arachnophobia is a well-known fear, pretty common fear, like phobia that people have. And all of these, like, they all have to have a spider, you know, for some reason. I don't know. I am not a person who has like a terrible fear of spiders. I don't like spiders very much, but I'm not the kind of person who like freaks out, right? But I just find, so it doesn't really bother me so much, but I feel for the people who do have a fear of spiders. It's kind of like, why do all of these different like movies and TV shows have to have spiders? I don't know. I mean, there's other things that are scary, creepy, like monsters, right? You could have. Why spiders? Why is it always spiders? But yeah, so monster I have no issue with. It's weird looking, right? It's like a beak monster spider thing. So monster seems fine to me. Fate can't be changed or whatever, right? It's like, okay, whatever. Say whatever you want. And so yeah, fight scene with a spider monster. You know, it's fine. I feel like I didn't watch the trailer for Witcher 3 when that came out, but I feel like with that one, they had Geralt being kind of more tough, right? So it's kind of curious, or not curious, but interesting to me how in this trailer, they're having the girl Witcher, like, she does not seem to be like super powerful, right? Like, she's getting hit by this spider monster, like it's giving her a tough fight. So I think that's kind of interesting, like a different kind of feel. But maybe they had the similar thing with Witcher 3 trailer. I don't know. You know, they can choose however they want for like how they want to show the gameplay, or like show the character interaction and blah blah blah. That's fine. Creepy spider monster. Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh, is she doing magic? Is she doing a magic? Or is she being held down? Is she doing a magic? Oh, okay, yeah, she's doing a magic. Ooh, creepy spider monster. Yes, cut off its legs. Is it gonna regrow them? Oh, okay, now it's getting up on 2 legs. Interesting. Okay, so I'll pause it here because we just saw a magic. So that's interesting. So it looks like she initially tried to fight it like straight Witcher style, and you know, wasn't doing so great. All right, could have, you know, if I were her like professor or teacher or something, I would be like, needs improvement, right? Like, could have been better. But now she's got like busted out the magic. But it looked like she couldn't just like use magic. She had to like borrow it. Like she like some like absorbed it or something from whatever, like the fog or mist or whatever the fuck, before she like used the lightning. So that's kind of interesting. Like I said, I don't remember that being a thing in Witcher 3. There was a short period of time in that game where you played as Ciri. And I don't remember her having that kind of limitation, but it's been a while since I played that game, so maybe that was there. I just didn't realize. Okay, continuing on. Let's kill the spider beast. Kill the spider monster. Oh, okay, so now she's got the fire. Didn't seem like she had absorb anything with the fire. I can't really make out what it's saying. Dead. Kill the beast. She got it. Okay, she's gonna carry the head back to the villagers, maybe? Oh, did they kill the girl anyway? Did they kill her anyway? Yep. Very sad. Ugh. Okay. So again, like icky, story, but that's the Witcher world, right? Like if you've played the game, there are many instances of that kind of thing. Where it's like, does it really matter what you do? It feels like there's not really like a happy ending for a lot of like the quests and storylines and things. So that's not strange. But yeah, still sad, but it's a video game. Like, so anyway, this seems to be, at least that part seems to be pretty on brand, I guess, for the Witcher games. But let's continue on.
There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Ah, I like that line. There we go. Witcher 4. Okay. Pausing. So that was the Witcher 4 official reveal trailer from the Game Awards 2024. I'm watching this on the IGN channel. That was my reaction, I guess, is kind of, I guess I'll just sum it up or give like some final thoughts. So the main issues I've seen on this from people were that Ciri, I think that's supposed to be Ciri. I don't think they ever use her name or anything. But the main feedback that I've seen that have been negative toward this has been that Witchers aren't supposed to be women, right? Like what in the Witcher world universe or whatever, women are not Witchers. I don't really know why that is. I'm thinking that was something probably from the original books, some kind of reason given in that. Personally, for like The Witcher, I played The Witcher 3. I haven't watched any of the games. I enjoyed the story, right? I enjoyed playing the game and all of that, and the characters in it, and the world that was created. Personally, I don't have like a strong emotional reaction to something that might be going against the lore, but we don't really know. Again, we don't really know if it is lore breaking or not, just based on this, because granted that dude did call her a Witcher. I don't know if that means she is a Witcher, right? Even though, like I said, I've only played the third game and it's been a while. I remember there being like a thing about they have to go through some kind of like ceremony or something that like some people die from doing it, and that's the reason why they can drink the potions or something. So we did see her use a potion, which is a Witcher thing, and we did also see she had a medallion of some kind, even though it looked different. It didn't look quite like Geralt's wolf medallion, right? That we see in the third game. But that could mean they could have just changed the design or something, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But So signs point to she's some way or another able to drink the potions, right? And she's some way or another has the medallion. So yeah, that seems like, but that doesn't mean that she went through the ceremony, right? I don't know. Maybe there's some reason they come up with. Either way, I'm not particularly tied to the lore, right? Like I don't have like an emotional reaction to the Witcher lore, but I have no, people who do, that's fine. And if people who are tied to the lore are upset about this, they're allowed to be upset, right? If it does seem to be going against the lore. So I don't have issue with that, and I understand people who are upset. The other complaint I saw about this was that they thought that Ciri wasn't pretty enough. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. So when I saw some of the pictures, like some of the still pictures of Ciri, before I watched this, I didn't think it looked like her, right? Like I didn't think it looked a lot like her from The Witcher 3 anyway. But seeing some of the other, like seeing the whole video, like the whole trailer, I could see it being her. Like, keep in mind that like Witchers are dirty, right? Or whatever, right? In the game, like they're out in the wilderness, like out in the woods, being dirty and not having like access to makeup and things like that. So if she's been out in the freaking woods, like she's gonna look not like necessarily pretty, right? So and then also we don't know how much time has passed between The Witcher 3 and this game. So if she's aged, like she's gonna look a little bit different, right? Like she's gonna look a little bit more kind of older than however old she, like whatever her age was supposed to be in The Witcher 3. I don't remember. But she was like a young woman in that game. So it makes sense that she would have a little bit of different, like have a little bit of a change in appearance from the age that she was as a young woman in The Witcher 3 to the age, depending on how far in the future this is supposed to be. So maybe the difference in appearance can be kind of chalked up to her aging, being a bit older, and her being out in the woods, like, and being grimy and gross. Speaking from someone who has gone camping, been out in the woods, you get a bit grimy and gross, even if you're a girl. So, so yeah, that could explain some of the change in appearance. But yeah, there were some scenes where she did look, I thought, a bit different than I recall her looking in the third game. Like, she's got the scar. I remember her having the scar. But I also feel like her chin, like in some of the still frames, like her chin looks a little bit bigger. But then in other frames, like it looks about right. So I'm not sure. But it looks a bit like chin looks a bit bigger, and she does look a little bit different in other ways. But that could be chalked up to her being older, right? Depending on what, depending on. But as far as her being a Witcher, doesn't bother me that much. I understand people who are bothered, but let's also be real. If you played the whole Witcher 3 game, like all the way to the end, it is essentially like heavily implied and hinted that she is going to become a Witcher at the end. Because, like, yeah. I guess I won't give away. I mean, even though I did do kind of some spoilers already, for The Witcher 3, but it's how long has that game been out? So it's kind of like get over it. But still, so yeah, that was heavily hinted at in the game, in The Witcher 3, that she was going to become a Witcher. So I don't have an issue with that. myself, yeah, personally, I'm not bothered by it. Shocker. But I get people who are, I guess. But they might have a really neat lore, like story version about how Ciri was able to become a Witcher. It is interesting though, she's using magic and drinking the potions, right? And it looked like she was using magic. So I'm curious about that too. So it could have a really fun reason why, right, that this is happening. Like this, she was able to become what appears to be a Witcher, if she is a Witcher. But yeah, personally, I have no issue with it. It looks like it could be fun. The important thing, like, okay, so the lore, that's important, right? Of course, to some people. But the major important thing is if it's good, if it's a fun game. As far as the mood and the feeling, it's got like the creepy ick stuff going on, right? That's on point. That's a big part. It's got the fighting of the monsters, right? It looks like it's got to have some challenging monster boss fights. That's part of The Witcher, right? If they do a good job at that. Other thing that's a big thing in The Witcher game is the story, right? The overarching story. We didn't really get to see much of that in this like trailer, but if they do a good job at that, like if they do have a good like engaging story, that's great. Like that'd be wonderful. And the other thing from the Witcher games is the romance, right? The romance options. We didn't see any of that really in this. So I can't speak on that. But that's another part of the Witcher game is, the whole like romance aspect of it. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, my thing went. I was talking too long. But anyway, so that's my end thing. As far as it being Ciri, I've another thing I've heard people say is that they would have liked to see maybe different character, like following different character storylines instead of just staying with, Geralt, Yennefer, Ciri, and what's her face? I can't remember the other girl's name. Triss, that was her name. So, and I can understand that. I can get that. Why, maybe some people would like a game set in the same like universe, like the Witcher universe, but maybe they have new characters, or maybe it's like a prequel, right? Like where they kind of go into like before Geralt's time, right? Like give you a little like kind of flesh out more of the world from before when we actually play the game. So, and I can understand that too. But and I had no issue. I would like to see that as well. But as far as this as it is, it's fine. Like to me, it seems fine. The big question is gonna be is if it's a fun game. If it's a fun game with a good story, then no one's gonna care about the lore. Like that's the honest, cold hard truth. Is that if it's a fun game with a good story, like an engaging world, right? No one's gonna care. It's gonna be fine. So that's gonna be it. And that end of video. Make a fun game, and people will come. But have a good one, everyone. And until next time, bye bye.